Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to our channel here in Elite Raceway. We are here with our new Gnosis Division 2 here in Bahrain for their first preseason debut to our league, and we're definitely looking forward to this. So we have quite a few new drivers here. So we have Joven Rally T, Raleigh, I'll call him. We also have Nate, Honeytons 69. We have Autron, who was a driver here before, is back for the season. Looking forward to seeing him again. We also have Hafronix, and let me see who else is new. The Proper Plug, Backmarker Racing, and everybody else returning drivers. So we are looking forward to seeing them this season with our new division group. So we did see already our Tier 1 last Saturday. We saw Tier 2 and our Gnosis Division 1 on Monday night. And welcome everybody to our channel. I do see that Angel on the live chat is asking how he can join. Well, if you want to join, you're welcome to join our Discord. It is in the description of our YouTube channel. So you could click the link and you could just contact me, which is La Rodri, or you can fill out a application straight away, and we'll contact you shortly with the with how else you can participate in the races. But Ango, if you do join, then we'd be happy to see you on the track. So we do have Mini Tony starting his lap. Like I mentioned before, we are here in Bahrain, and it is 29 laps. I believe it was 15 corners on this track. We have 3 DRS zones. We see Mini Tony going through Sector 2 over here in the S's. And let me just put up some information. So all these guys were looking forward to this division. We're honestly looking forward to seeing how it'll grow. We do have a full grid on paper lined up for the new season. Like I mentioned before, this is just a preseason, so some drivers are taking a little bit of a break until the actual season start. And very unfortunate for Mini Tony right there in validating his lap time. Let me see who else is out. Honeytons, being the first driver to put in a lap, is going to put in a 129.6, which is actually a pretty good time. We do have R. Manson trying out for Division 2 as well, but puts in a 131.6. Backmarker Racing a 144.0. So the purpose of this division was mainly to keep our division's pace base. Division 2 is mainly for our drivers who starting out with the Gnosis. Some of them still learning in the process, and others who are still trying to test their consistency. So we'll be seeing, we had a really great race in Division 1 on Monday, so I'm sure these guys are looking forward to performing just as well as they did. And I believe Proper Plug did leave the session. I know he was having a bit of difficulty with his connectivity, so here's hoping that he's able to race today. They were all looking forward to it. He was looking forward to it. I think throughout the week he was practicing, so it will be really unfortunate if he's not able to race. I know, Kyle, you're on the live chat. You know the experience of the struggle of connectivity issues. So if you have any hacks, you're welcome to tag him in the Discord channel, if please. But looks like Backmarker was just sending a banker lap. He is putting his lap right now and is going to put in a 133.1. That puts him in P7 at the moment. And we have a few drivers who are sort of veterans in the Division 1 group who have now moved down to, well, not moved down, but want to experience their own division over here in Division 2. So Relativity, Chernobyl, and Mini Tony all starting in the Division 2 had a couple of laps or races, social events throughout the season or throughout the break, and it definitely performed really well. Uh, it looks like Kyle had a bit of a hack getting his connectivity issues solved. So hey, you never know. All right, just wanted to make sure everything in the Discord was all set out well. So quite a few drivers who have still to set in a lap. So we are keeping an eye on Escargo Sim at the moment. A driver I did say if he was if he made any amazing overtakes or actually got a race win, I'll call him the Escargoat, as Marky Mark from Tier 2 mentioned. But he is rounding on the final corner. Has plenty of battery left. Not sure if this is a banker lap or puts in a 131.9, puts him in P7, pushes back Marker Racing down, who looks like it's going to go back into the pit. Oh, we do have my good friend Leader Leebag starting his lap at the moment. In Sector 1, opens the flap on the first DRS here. So now going through the fast chicane of turns 5 through 7. Has the slow downhill here in turn 8. It's a very tricky corner, that turn 11 there, where we see a lot of drivers, they tend to lock up. But he takes that really well. Has plenty of battery saved up. Ooh, catches the car a little bit right there. Final corner, very tricky. We did see quite a few drivers get caught up on the losing traction on that final corner. And it looks like leader Leebag is going to put a 131.9, puts him in P8. And I also see Obama Sean from Tier 2 in the live chat. Big hello to you guys. And so it looks like Mini Tony still hasn't set his lap yet. Didn't validate the first try. Already out for the second try. And we'll see how he takes this corner right here. Keeps it really tight. Has a really good exit right there. And we do have a couple of drivers like Kyle on the from our Discord watching the races at work. I hope your manager or your boss doesn't catch you and get in trouble. But we do appreciate the support. And so Mini Tony going around the final corner. Goes really well on the throttle there. Has a little bit of battery left. Uses it and manages a 130.0. Really close to the 129s. So Honeyton's keeping it in provisional pole with a 129.6. Hovind Rowley only a tenth off of that. And we do have leader Leepak, who just manages to put in a 130.5, puts him up to the top 5 at the moment. We have our Manton as well going around the final corner. Puts in a 130.2. That pushes leader Leepak down. And we also have our Senor Dieras Maestro joining the lobby as well. I believe Nate Also needed one, so let me just send him one. I'm keep. If you hear me going quiet, it's mainly because I'm looking at the Discord just to make sure everyone is good. Alrighty, so we do have Altron starting his lap now. A really good driver from what I've seen heading into turn one. Very common overtaking spot. Has to make sure he gets the throttle down here. Now opens the flap. Ooh, looks like he goes a little bit wide right there. Not sure how much that is going to affect him. So like I said, a lot of these drivers, they're new to the no assist environment, uh, looking to challenge themselves, and honestly, big respects as I mentioned, even in Division One, big respects to these guys who actually put in a lot of time to learn every inch of the car. Atron doing really well to keep it tight into that corner. Hovind Rowley putting in a 128.9. So phenomenal lap by him. And it looks like Nate was able to join back. Yeah, we are glad to see him back into the session. Atron going around the final corner. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent time of 130.9. That puts him into P9. I think that him running wide on that one corner in Sector 1 did throw him off a little bit. And we do have Honey Tons in the McLaren. Looks like he is putting in his lap. He does have a little bit of traffic right there. I think that is the V-carb of Lee Bag. Is going to get out the way. I guess that was a little bit of a slipstream that he gave him. A really nice drift into the uphill now here. Keeps it really tight, makes sure not to get over the track limits. He is probably going to have a really nice slipstream from the car ahead of him, it looks like. And so Honeytons is going to put in a 129.4. Does improve, but unfortunately not enough to surpass Hovind Rowley. And we still have Relativity, one of our most loyal one of our most loyal drivers in the league, has bounced. I think I've mentioned this before. Has bounced back from Division 1, then our Division 1 no assist, which was our only division at the time, then moved to our European no assist, which was on Sunday, and then when that didn't work out, went back to Division 1, and now he's back here in Division 2. So he is probably one of our most loyal drivers here in this league. And honestly has improved a lot, I will say. So I am looking forward to seeing how he does in this season, especially in a group with drivers around his pace. And I believe it was Angel in the live chat who asked who has joined our Discord channel. So I do see that you DM'd me. I will be reaching out after this race, so that way I can at least focus here. So just to let you know, I will respond back to your message. So Relativity looking really solid right now. Actually, looks like no. Looks like he is going to back out of the session of the lap there. Yeah, so it looks like unfortunately he wasn't improving, chose to back out. We'll keep an eye on who else is on their lap time. I believe Nate. Nate actually pushing himself up to P3 at the moment. Alrighty, so Nate is going to go back into the pits. I was just looking at, we do have another driver joining. So I believe it will be 16 in total. We have Wed in the Ferrari, so big welcome to him. So another new driver as well. Guardians going around the final corner. And so Guardians is going to put in a 131.3. That pushes him up 2 positions there. DRS Maestro, I believe that was his lap. And perfect. So Proper Plug was able to join back into the session. I know he was having a little bit of difficulty, as I mentioned before, with his internet. So we are happy to see him back in his car. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of drivers have already surpassed the time to put in another lap. Polly is almost done. Our Manson, we will see how much he has improved on his time. Oh, 5 plays grid penalty between TRS Maestro and Guardians. Not exactly sure what happened there, but our Manson has improved on his time. I believe that was around 1/10 that he was up, so that can push him up a position. Actually, no, it puts him up multiple positions. So our Manson up to P4 now. And not exactly sure what happened between Guardians and DRS Maestro, but unfortunately Guardians is going to have the 5 plays grid penalty, and yeah, I'll take a look at the chat just in case there's any communication between them. And so it looks like all the drivers are going back into their garages. Alrighty, so this is our grid. So we have Hovind Rowley in the Williams putting in the best time of 128.9. That is going to start him on pole position. Right next to him, we have Honeyton 69. In P3, we have Nate Oxy, followed by R. Manton, Mini Tony, Relativity, Leader Leebag, Escargo, Hafronix, Autron, Guardians, Chernobyl Clocks, Proper Plug, Backmarker Racing, Wetter, who I believe is Froggy from what DRS Maestro had say, but could be wrong. And in P16, DRS Maestro unfortunately getting disqualified from the session. Not exactly sure, as I mentioned before, what happened between them, but but we will take a look after that. So we did see quite a mix of strategies. If I'm not mistaken, we saw quite a number of drivers from Tier 1, Tier 2, and Division 1 starting on the hard compounds, taking it probably up to, I believe, lap 16, if I'm not mistaken, lap 16, lap 17, and then going for the mediums, uh, the one-stop strategy, other drivers opting for the two-stop, which I believe was two mediums and the hard tires. Uh, it is quite an open track, so we haven't seen any safety cars throughout the week, but you never know. Hopefully, not jinxing these drivers, but we will see how it goes. But we do have a couple minutes for them to ensure that they have their strategies in place. Of course, adjust any fuels that they need to change up. They don't have formation lap on, so they will be diving straight into the race. And so Chernobyl clocks our league support driver. He will be starting the timer in a few, so we just ask that all the drivers be patient. All the drivers going over their strategies, which is really nice to see. But Chernobyl will be starting the timer in a few seconds. So we do encourage the drivers not to step away just in case someone does tend to ready up early. Yeah, corn on the cob. Yeah, streaming. It would be nice to have music back here, but I do this on my PlayStation. I did try using, I think it was Steam or Stream OBS, I believe. But I do have a pretty wacky computer, so so unfortunately you will have to deal with the silence. Uh, maybe we'll try finding a way around that, but it should be starting soon. And yep, we do hear the timer going down. And I will try to get all that information up. Alrighty, and lights are off and away they go. So is Hovind Rowley going to be able to defend the position? Looks like he has a pretty good start. Honeyton's going on the inside, manages to get ahead, and Nate on the inside stays in position. We do have a couple of changes happening in the back, and unfortunately that is the Williams of Hovind Rowley, unfortunately going sideways, catching Nate in the Mercedes as well. Do have a couple movements happening in the back as well. Hovind getting passed by some of the drivers. He does have wing damage, I believe. So it looks like he is missing his left. Actually, no, he's not missing his left-hand plate. I believe that may have been another driver, but did lose quite a few positions. He is going on the inside and isn't able to make any move yet, but phenomenal side-by-side racing there. We do have Wetter moving up quite a few positions, so we are looking at the strategy calls. So quite a few different calls here. So we have Honey Tons, Relativity, Proper Plug, Hoven, Ultron, Backmarker, and Nate all starting in the soft tires. I believe that was actually Nate who had received damage. Yeah, so he is missing his left end plate there. So it was Hoven who went sideways. That is another driver going sideways, and that is the Haas of Proper Plug. Unfortunately, in the wall. And looks like we have in the front leader lead bag up to P4 at the moment. Relativity staying really close behind him. DRS is enabled now. So leader bag a little bit too far back from Mini Tony to get any DRS, but looks like he does have enough straight line speed. Oh, Relativity getting super close to the back of lead bag. So that is two drivers pitting. Looks like there was a first lap incident. Nate and Haffernex both pitting. And Hoven doing really good to catch the car right there. So we will take a look at the position changes. So Honey Tons doing really well to move up and get the pass. And looks like Hoven is going to make the overtake on Escargot. Manages to put himself back into P5 now. And looks like Escargot is going to get the position back. Hoven going wide. Going wide again, and looks like Armanson is putting a little bit of pressure on him. If I were Armanson, I'd probably wait out a little bit. He is going to get the DRS on this next upcoming straight. Oh, that is contact between Armanson and Ultron. So that was Armanson, and then we do have Wetter, his teammate, moving up positions because of that. So going back to the position changes, leader lead back doing a phenomenal job to gain 4 positions in 3 laps. Mini Tony gaining 3 positions. Backmarker, Wetter, and DRS Maestro also gaining 5 positions. So now it looks like closest battle we have here is DRS Maestro on the back of Wetter. He does have Chernobyl right behind him. Looks like DRS Maestro going a little bit wide right there. Oh, Chernobyl going a bit off track there to try avoiding the back of DRS Maestro. Loses the position to Armanson there. So very unfortunate for Armanson who had that contact with Ultron, but doing well to climb up back into the grid. Armanson going wide again. So I do think with this new game, people are mentioning that the dirty errors does take quite effect on the overtaking moves. He is going to get the DRS off of, ironically, DRS Maestro. And looks like up ahead, a couple of moves as well. Hoven losing quite a few positions. Not exactly sure what happened there. Wetter, or Backmarker actually going wide, and looks like Wetter is going to get past. So a lot of action happening from the front to the back. Hafernix getting the fastest lap of 133.3 right there. The proper plug, it looks like he is going to pit again. That may be because of wing damage. So we have a bit of a train of cars from P9 to P12, it looks like. Oh, that is the RS Maestro going wide, and looks like our Manson is going to benefit from that. Pushes himself up to P10. So Honeyton's doing a phenomenal job to continue extending the gap, Hovind getting past his teammate Relativity. Both the Williams are going to get the DRS. Looks like Hovind might actually be the first car to make an overtake. Gets the pass done easily. Isn't able to bring his teammate along, but looks like Relativity trying to go for the inside move. Isn't able to get any pass done yet, but he is going to get the DRS now off of Autron. Fortunately, not able to pull more ahead. Autron does have the DRS off of his teammate, or off of Relativity's teammate. And now looks like Mini Tony has caught up to the back of Honeytons. Now less than a second. He is, I believe, on a more better tire strategy, although he did lose quite a bit of time right there. Escargo now picking up a 3-second penalty there. So Mini Tony hunting the back of Honeytons. And leader Leebag actually having quite a comfortable gap, over a second and a half ahead of Escargo, who has that penalty. Mini Tony now within the DRS of Honeytons. And now Guardians picking up a 3-second penalty, joining the penalty party. I think Mini Tony right now is just focusing on tire management, doing really well to just stay within that DRS of Honeytons. And behind we do have Hovind on the back of Escargo. Does get the flap open, not close enough to make any pass yet. Ooh, looks like he does go quite a bit wide right there, and taking a look at the drivers in the back as well. Oh, and I think that is the Alpine of Hafernix struggling a little bit to get back onto the track right there. But oh, we do have Mini Tony closing in on Honeytons. Very close, and most likely going to be going for an overtake on this next upcoming DRS. And looks like Escargo has actually caught up to the back of leader Leebag as well. Mini Tony gets the flap open, goes for the overtake. Gets the pass nicely done. And we also have leader Leebag, who is getting overtaken by Escargo. Looks like he is actually choosing to pit early, actually. 6 laps on the mediums. All drivers doing really well to save up their battery. Looks like leader Leebag is opting for the soft tires now, so he is going for the 2-stopper. And we also have Autron on the back of Hovind Rowley. Oh, and Chernobyl also looks like a bit of a battle between the Haas and the Kick Sauber right there. And up ahead, Autron getting past Rowley. And Mini Tony now picking or extending that gap now over a second and a half. So those soft tires that Honeytons is using are definitely dying out already. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the drivers lasted maybe 8 laps, probably less with them. That is yellow flags for proper plug, picking up a 10-second penalty, unfortunately. And now Honeytons, there we go, 7 laps. Now going to pit and change out of those tires. Mini Tony putting in the putting in the throttle and trying to extend that gap. Let's see, we're gonna take a look at relativity right on the back of Wetter. Very few drivers actually opting for the hard tires. So Wetter, DRS Maestro, and Chernobyl on the hard compounds. The other drivers on the hard compounds after pitting early. Ooh, relativity looks like locking up a little bit right there, going wide. Does lose quite a bit of time behind the Ferrari. And so Honeytons does come out behind the V-Carb of DRS Maestro. And DRS Maestro, ooh, a little bit off track right there. Oh, Honeytons trying to follow right behind DRS Maestro. Does get a really good exit right there, gets the pass done. Now has the clean air to continue moving forward. And up ahead, Autron now closing in on the back of Escargo. Ooh, has a bit of a snap right there, and unfortunately losing a lot of time and choosing to get out of those soft tires now. Now our Manson on the back of Relativity gets the flap open, gets the overtake done. It looks like Relativity is going to get the DRS on this second DRS straight. Doesn't look to make a move yet. Doing really well to back out and just wait. Oh, it looks like we do have Hafernick's picking up a position. Looks like back marker is going to pit now. Yeah, quite a bit of smoke happening from all the drivers. A bit of bronchitis to the driver behind them. Jeez. So Relativity is on those soft compounds, so he is most likely going to pit at the end of this lap. And that is Guardians unfortunately retiring on the track back in the pits. Unfortunate for him. Hopefully he has a better race in the season opener. And oh no, Relativity does really well to clear himself away from the track. And honestly, big respects, being really careful to get back onto the track. Yeah, very unfortunate for him, but well done. Great sportsmanship to at least get out the way and not affect any of the other drivers. So Hoven picking up the fastest lap at 1:33.0. And trailing right behind the leader Liebag. So it looks like that is our closest battle. DRS Maestro leaving the session. Not exactly sure if he lagged out or... Mister, my Wi-Fi is the best. But unfortunately, he does have the... So ghosting is disabled, so his AI is going to be driving ahead. He does have leader Liebag and Hoven right behind them. So it looks like, yeah, DRS Maestro is able to join back. I had to make sure he was able to. But going back into the race, Hovind Raleigh still behind the back of Liebag. Does have one lap fresher tires. But Liebag is going to get the DRS off of his teammate right here. Not exactly sure if DRS Maestro was able to get back into the car, but looks like Liebag is going for the move on the inside. Does really well to stay ahead, and Hovind right on the back of DRS Maestro. That was a bit of a glitch right there, but I believe that may have been DRS getting back into his car. Gets really close to the back of Liebag. And it looks like Liebag actually went a little bit wide right there. Staying ahead, Hovind Raleigh trying to trying to follow right behind. Unfortunately, makes contact. Don't think that was Liebag's fault right there. Very unfortunate, just trailing right behind the car in front of you. Getting really close to the back of Atron there now. You're giving me little mini heart attacks. Jesus Christ. Oh, and that is Atron going on the back of DRS Maestro, and I believe Atron is now missing his right end plate there. So again, as we mentioned before, Division 2 is mainly for drivers still learning, drivers who are still looking to improve compared to Division 1. Division 1, a little bit more experienced drivers, or drivers who have had a lot of time on this game. But yeah, a lot of these drivers are already aware that a lot of the people on the grid are still learning. So just a learning process, and of course this is only pre-season. A lot of room to see what needs improvement, what needs change, and yeah, we'll see how the season goes. But we do have Wetter now on the back of Escargo. Both of them have penalties. We'll take a look at how many penalties they have. So Escargo, Maestro, and Chernobyl, all with 3-second penalties. Wetter with 9 seconds. And Escargo going wide, and that is going to benefit Wetter, who's going to get the overtake done. Escargo now under pressure from the McLaren of Honeytons, who is on the fresher tires, the top three who have yet to pit. Now Hovind Raleigh picking up a 3-second penalty there. Honeyton's having a really good exit. Again, he does have that fresher tire and is going to get the pass done. So that is the Ferrari of Wetter. Who is he going to get close enough to get the DRS? Looks like he's not, and Scargo is actually going to go into the pit and change out of those mediums. In the back, looks like Nate getting the overtake done on Hovind Raleigh, who does have that end plate damage. And looks like Nate is going to pit and change out of those hard compounds. I have a few drivers pitting, Escargo as well. Or Escargo actually getting out the pit, if I'm not mistaken. And now Honeyton's picking up a 3-second penalty. So Mini Tony might be looking for a possible win in this division. Both drivers behind him, both with penalties. Altron going wide. Halfronix now picking up the fastest lap of 131.7. That is Liebag, unfortunately, in Sector 2. Not exactly sure what happened. He does have the Alpine of Escargo right behind him. Liebag still staying ahead. Escargo does have that fresher tire there. Does take a while for those hard compounds to warm up, but looks like he is going to get the pass done. And I also want to give a shout out to, looks like Halfronix's friend, Marshville, I'm assuming is how you were your name is pronounced, but I do want to give you a shout out. We do welcome all friends and family of the drivers who do watch the races. But looks like Mini Tony is going to pit out of those tires. And we do have, looks like, multiple drivers going into the pits. Altron and Hovind Rowley. Lead back as well. DRS Maestro now pick up a 3-second penalty. So we'll take a look at where Mini Tony came out. So he came out right behind of Honey Tons, who is on 6-lap old mediums. Honey Tons is most likely going for possibly a 2-stopper. He does have quite a long way to go with those mediums. So if there's no safety car, Mini Tony might actually benefit from this race. So we also have Chernobyl close to Nate Oxy. Looks like he did lose a bit of time right there. Looks like Hafrenix is also getting really close to the Williams of Hovind Raleigh. Raleigh having a really tricky exit right there. And looks like Hafrenix is going to pick up quite a bit of time. Has a really nice exit right into that corner. So Hafrenix hunting down the Williams. So he is on the soft tires. So most likely he does have to pit again. However, he is giving it quite a push. Does have the next DRS to make an actual overtake. Follows really well right behind the Williams, and he is going to get the flap open soon. Using a bit of battery to get that overtake done. Goes on the inside and moves up into P10 at the moment. So really good overtake and really good racing from Hafrenix right there. And up ahead, we also do have our Manson on the back of DRS Maestro. So looking back at the penalties again, so DRS now going wide. Our Manson getting the benefit right there and gets the move done. Moves himself up to P4. So again, looking back at the penalty, so Weather does have that 9-second penalty. Honeytons with 3 seconds. Mini Tony with no penalties has to really focus on trying to avoid them, as if he keeps it close, he will most likely get the win. DRS Maestro with 6 seconds, Escargo with 3, Chernobyl and Hovind Rowley as well with 3-second penalties. And that is DRS Maestro going wide. So DRS does have 15-lap old hard compound, so he is going for that 1-stopper. Now Mini Tony closing the gap, getting really close to the McLaren. So the majority of these drivers are actually full-time drivers in the division. So we are looking at quite a few battles throughout the season. It looks like Hovind Raleigh is going to pick up another 3-second penalty. And that's the only 2 drivers who have not pit. So that is Wetter and that is DRS Maestro. DRS Maestro going wide again in the same corner. Looks like he's struggling quite a bit in that area of the track. Mini Tony closing in. Is he going to get less than a second and get the DRS? He might be a little bit too far, but he can probably get it on the next one. So it does take a little bit of a while for those hard compounds to really kick in. He is on 3-lap-old hards now, so they should be kicking in soon. Both drivers ahead of him with older tires, and looks like Leadbag is closing in on the back of Hovind Raleigh. Hovind Raleigh actually looks like he did pit, but didn't go for a wing change, so he is going to get that straight line speed with that wing damage. But leader Leadbag closing in, doesn't have enough to get any overtake done. Does really well to avoid any contact right there. Like I said, with this new division, incidents might happen, but the majority of them are just driver mistakes, drivers still learning, and yeah, very good call from leader Leadbag to maneuver that car and not make any contact with the Williams ahead of him. We do have Escargo in the front, getting the overtake done on DRS Maestro. So DRS is going to get the DRS on this next upcoming straight. If I'm not mistaken, drivers usually took the hard compounds to lap 17, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, strategies may change. Not sure how those tires are feeling. But yeah, looks like he did and is going to pit and change out of those tires. We'll take a look at where he's going to come out. He is most likely going to come out behind Hovind, I believe. He's probably going to come out right ahead of Leadbag. Oh, looks like he does manage a bit of a gap right there. He comes out right next to Hafronix, who looks like he's going to let him go through. Yeah, it comes out with a pretty decent gap, over 3 seconds ahead of Hovind Raleigh and leader Leadbag. So Mini Tony's still hunting down the front row. He does have Wetter right in front of him. Again, Wetter does have that 9-second penalty, and looks like Wetter is going to pit out of those tires. And so Mini Tony is going to be leading the pack and has quite the comfortable gap ahead of everybody else. Looks like our Manton is going to pit as well with the 2-stopper. DRS Maestro closing in on the back of Hafronix. So Hafronix does have those soft tires, so yeah, he is going to change out of them. And looks like that is... Whew, that is a yellow flag. Not exactly sure what happened to our Manson there. But he was... Yeah, he was coming out of the pit, and looks like those cold tires were too cold. He wasn't able to get the traction coming out of the pits. Losing positions now, and looks like Hovind Raleigh is going to get the overtake done. Leader Leadbag right behind them. So very unfortunate for our Manson losing the car in that. Not exactly sure where he was gonna come out. We were looking at something else, but yeah, very unfortunate for our Manson. It looks like they do have quite a bit of a battle here. I lost Hovind Raleigh for a little bit. But looks like he is going to lose 2 positions. Leader Leadbag up to P9 now. So Leadback is going to get the DRS of R. Manson. Oh, that that is R. Manson in the wall, and is that going to be a safety car? No, looks like no. So unfortunate for Leadback. So Holden Raleigh is going to get the DRS of him and is going to get the overtake done. Oh, oh man, our Manson was having a really good race, but looks like those tires were just too cold and he couldn't keep the car straight. So Leadback is going to get the. Oh, he does. He did have the DRS, but looks like he wasn't able to get any pass done. Has a really good catch right there. So now that everybody has pit, we'll take a look again at the position changes. So Mini Tony up 4 positions, along with Weather up 11, Escargot also up 4 positions, and Ultron up 5, DRS Maestro up 9, Chernobyl up a position, top 10. Yeah, really great drive from these these guys, really. Looks like we do have Nate right behind the V-carb of Maestro. Has plenty of battery saved up. Looks like he's going to use a little bit. Gets the flap open. Makes an easy overtake and pushes himself up to P6 right behind his teammate. And Mini Tony with over 17 seconds ahead of Honey Tons. And now Weather picking up another 3-second penalty, so that is 12 seconds in total. Marshville, I did see your question on the live chat. I believe you meant the division, right? Who won the division last time? If that is your question, so this is actually our first season with this group, our Division 2. Division 1, we did have a separate division. We do have another division for Gnosis. Each group is meant to be pace-based, so they are all within their groups. And yeah, this is our new group. A big welcome to these guys for their first ever race in our league. Our fourth race group. We do have 2 groups that are with assists, and then these 2 with no assists. So a big improvement from our league. We did start out with only 1 group. Second season, we started with our Division 1 group, which was mixed paced, and now we have all 4. So little by little, who knows? Who knows if we'll have even more groups in the future? But honestly, big improvement, and we also give our appreciation to all the drivers who have signed up and do participate in our races weekly, and even those who are reserves who come every once in a while. Big respects to them. So we do have Weather within the DRS of Honey Tons. Again, Weather does have 12 seconds of penalties, so he might actually not lose a position to Escargo, who's right behind him, who does have that 3-second penalty, is out of those 9 seconds there. So Weather might be still looking for a podium finish. We do have Nate Oxy now on the back of his teammate, looking at the tires. So Ultron does have those 8-lap-old hard compounds. Nate Oxy with fresher mediums, a faster tire. Ultron having a really hard exit on that corner, and looks like Nate Oxy is going to get the overtake done on his teammate. Hopefully we don't see any any Nico and Lewis incident. But now Ultron picking up a 3-second penalty, so Nate Oxy is looking for a top 5 finish. Leader Leadbag looks like he is going to go into the pits and change out of those mediums. But up ahead we do have the Ferrari of Wetter looking to make a pass on Honeytons. That is the kick Sauber of Backmarker Racing, doing a great job to get out of the way of the leading drivers. Honeyton's trying to break that slipstream. Both of them doing really well to keep their batteries quite similar. Oh, Wetter picking up another 3-second penalty, and yeah, I'm not sure if the game is just harsher. I didn't really see him go wide, but yeah, it looks like it was just enough to get that penalty. So Wetter is going to be looking to make a move on the inside. Looks like no, he is going to back out. So that is a total of 15 seconds for Wetter, and that looks like that still not might affect him at the end. He pretty great side-by-side racing. Looks like Honeyton's trying to defend the position. Wetter now getting ahead of the McLaren. And now Honeyton's picking up a 3-second penalty. So we have 15 seconds, 6 seconds battling in the P2, P3 group. So it looks like that is our closest battle. We will be taking a look at the penalties. Hafronix not far off from the 3 seconds of Chernobyl clocks. You never know if Chernobyl might make a mistake. Chernobyl has to really keep it consistent on these last couple laps. Mini Tony doing really well to keep it consistent. 15 seconds ahead of the pack. And so the McLaren of Honeytons is going to get the DRS, but not enough to make any move yet, it seems. Yeah, if I were Honeytons, I'd probably just take it easy. He does have that driver ahead of him who has multiple penalties, enough. So P2 is secured if he keeps it consistent and keeps it on the track. And looks like Hafronix is within the 3 seconds of Chernobyl clocks. So I'm not sure if Chernobyl made a mistake, but Hafronix has definitely put in the pedal, put down the pedal, and he's now within those 3 seconds of Chernobyl and looking for a possible P9 finish. And looks like up ahead, Honeytons closing in on the back of the Ferrari. Fakes the move on the inside and chooses to slot right behind of the Ferrari. So both of them on quite equal tires, and Honeyton's keeping it really tight out of that corner. Still within the DRS of Wetter. So he is going to get the flap open, closing in on Wetter, and is he going to make the move before the corner? Looks like he is. And he slots right in front of Wetter, who is going to get the DRS off of him. Oh, Wetter getting really close to Honeytons. I guess he misjudged the power of the DRS right there, as well as the dirty air. And keeping an eye on the delta of Hafronix behind Chernobyl. Hafronix now less than 2 seconds behind Chernobyl, who does have those 3 seconds. As we mentioned before, we're going to keep on looking back and forth from the front to the back of the grid. say it has been a really, really great race. A couple mistakes here and there. A lot of drivers, as I mentioned before, learning. Um, yeah. I'm just thinking over all the close calls we've had of a few drivers into the rear of the driver ahead, but my God. Looks like Wetter, ooh, catching Wetter going wide right there, falling behind of Honeytons. Has saved up plenty of battery and looks like he is going to make the move. Oh, that is, looks like he didn't know where to go and unfortunately makes contact with the McLaren up ahead. Missing his wing now, and so Honeytons, yeah, Honeytons is going to start right behind of Wetter. Wetter most likely going to have to pit. If I were him, I'd probably just give up and let the McLaren pass because this sector with no wing is quite a pain to go through. So Honeytons is going to get the DRS off of Wetter right there. Looks like he isn't going to make any move, but Hafernix is going to pit early. And so Hafernix, while that was all happening, Hafernix now getting the overtake done on Chernobyl and pushing himself into P9. He is only 9.6 seconds behind of Hoven Rowley in the Williams, who has that 9-second penalty. So Hafernix is just pedal down. He might actually go for a P8. And looks like because of that contact between Honeytons and Wetter, Mini Tony is still ahead with over 19-second gap. And Hafrenix pushing, but pushing too much and goes a bit wide right there. Now losing that time. And gaining it back, he is fighting for his life. Doing really well. He does have about 2 laps left. Leader bag now picking up a 3-second penalty. So Nate following right behind Escargo. Nate actually looking for a podium finish. Escargo does have that 3-second penalty there. So Nate's still falling behind. Is he going to make the overtake or is he just going to stay right behind of Escargo? Looks like he is going to get the pass done. Makes a really easy pass right there. So Nate now up to P3 looking for a podium finish. Mini Tony in Sector 2 on the final lap. And looks like Hafrenix has actually closed the gap from Hoven Raleigh, who again has that 9-second penalty. We are keeping an eye on that. And actually, looks like Mini Tony is going around the final corner. That is the V-Carb of Leebag, I believe, who unfortunately had a bit of a spin and reset on track. Again, we're going to remind him not to do that in the actual season. That is not allowed. But Mini Tony going for his first ever win, I believe, with ERA, even if it's still just a preseason, it's still a race, and so a huge congratulations to him. And we are taking a look at the drivers behind. So Nate, looks like Honeytons is going around the final corner. Nate does have a bit of a gap behind of Honeytones, so it doesn't look like he is going to get a P2, but he is still going to share the podium with the other drivers. Let's take a look at the drivers ahead. Looks like Hafronix might be going for P7, so he was just eating up those positions. So Hafronix does have only 6 seconds behind of Hoban Rowley. Looks like he is going to secure a P7 finish. Has to make sure he doesn't make any mistake on this final corner. It looks like he doesn't. Crosses the line. And it looks like we do have Chernobyl Clocks fighting. I believe the AI of Weather, but he does have a penalty, so Chernobyl is going to secure a P9. Top 10 drivers right there. And honestly, a phenomenal race. Of course, a couple of mistakes here and there, a couple of incidents. This is just a preseason, so yeah, a little bit of work to do in the actual season. But we will go over the final grid. So we did have Mini Tony, our good Argentinian friend, getting the win for today in ERA's first ever Division 2, or NOSA's Division 2 group. Sharing the podium with him is the McLaren of Honeyton 69. And in P3 as well, sharing the podium, the McLaren of Nate Oxy, who also picks up the fastest lap with a 131.1. And from P4 all the way to the end, we have Escargo, followed by Altron, DRS Maestro, Hafronix, who a great job climbing up the grid. Hoban Raleigh, who very unfortunate starting on pole position, lost out and moved down to P8. Chernobyl Clonk's doing a phenomenal job from P11, getting the top 10. Weather, who I believe had quite a few track limits, so hopefully if he ever does participate again, he keeps it on the track. Followed by Relativity, leader Leadback, who had a really unfortunate race, and then the other drivers who unfortunately DNF'd. But amazing race, a little taste of what's to come for the rest of the season. And yeah, I hope the drivers had as much fun as it was, as much as I had watching it. And we are starting the first round of ERA in Austria this week. We'll be starting with our Tier 1 group with assists, limited assists, followed by on Monday night our Tier 2 with limited assists, our Division 1 with no assists, and then back again with our Division 2 here in Austria as well. So everybody, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe our channels. If you have any other friends or family who you want to share this to, feel free to share the link. And if you're interested in racing, our description and our link is in our link and the race schedule is on the description of this group, of this YouTube channel. So thank you again, everybody, and we'll catch you guys next week.